Hey guys, it's Tootsie, and it's like nighttime now. Like the sun's down. It's like 6:42, and I have like my light over there, but you can still see me pretty well. And since another like update, what I talked about, how I would talk about what would happen past the Monday, and that was Monday this week, and it is now Saturday, so I finally got to sit down and talk to you guys and tell you the big news. The big news is that my fiance got a different job. He is no longer working at the same place he was. He was working at the same place I was. He worked the night shift. I worked the morning shift. I worked first shift. He worked third shift. And he has since found another job, and he is now gonna be over the road, as in trucking. He's gonna be driving an 18-wheel. He's gonna be driving a truck, and so that's why I said I might be able to film more, because I will be able to come home and hopefully be able, if I have the energy to film. And if I sound kind of funny or sniffly, I'm getting over a cold. That's why I didn't film this like right away, because I was sick. I could barely talk. I was It's just like every time I start getting a chance to film, something comes up. My anxiety spikes. I get sick. Something happens. So, but I do have a friend coming over tonight, and she's probably gonna be spending more time with me lately, since I'm gonna be here, when my man is over the road. I need someone to be with, just spend some time with, and so hopefully her and me are thinking of doing some like challenge videos together, and us be together. And so yeah, but I won't film like maybe tonight, maybe like tomorrow. See how we feel. And yeah, and so yeah, and yeah, I'm just in my jammies. I'm wearing a shirt saying I love video games. Just eat some chicken, and I have some Risk Cups and Doritos chips. Yeah, that was my dinner. That was my dinner. And so yeah, that was the really, really, really big news, that my fiance got a new job. So hopefully I'll be able to film, but I'm not sure that, I also talked about how I was getting busy at my work and blah, 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 that's when I'm gone, busy at my work, blah, 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 blah. But I was thinking of making a separate video on this, but I guess I'll tell you guys in this video is that also why I didn't film this week, not because I just got sick, is that on Sunday, that I showed you guys my cats. You guys know my cat. I showed them in past videos. I had a cat named Whiskers. Okay, that was his name, Whiskers. My dad gave him that name because we had Whiskers since June 1998. June 1998. Okay, so I was like 3 years old, okay, when we got Whiskers, and on Sunday he got really, really, really sick, okay? He was getting sick for a while. He was getting really weak. He was getting really old. And me and my man knew that he was getting old and he was getting towards his time. We were just waiting and seeing how is this going to play out. Is he going to go on his own or not? And on Sunday, he got really sick. I noticed that for the past few days, last week, that he was kind of slouching around. And I was also noticing is that he would like wait till he's like extremely dehydrated and then go drink, and eat. And then he would urinate a lot in the cat box and poop a lot in the cat box. So, but on Sunday he was really weak. He was in between our bedroom like doorway and like our little hallway in our apartment. And he was kind of not really responsive. Like, he was a cat. Like, if you called him, he would be like, oh, okay, I'll come to you. Well, you wanting to give me some loving. But he wasn't, like, being really responsive at all. Like, he was trying to lift up his head, but he couldn't. And I was in the kitchen, which was probably about, like, 10 steps away from where he was. And I called him, and he kind of barely slouched himself over with his front legs, like he couldn't lift up his back legs trying to get to the water and the food. That's where I was standing right by him. And so then me and my man decided that we need to take him in, and when my guy, when he picked him up, my teddy bear, I call him Teddy Bear, so me and Teddy Bear picked him up, and he was all wet on the stomach, and he smelled, and so we figured he must have urinated himself. And so we took him into the vet hospital, and we just said we don't know what's wrong with him. He's very old, he's very weak, and so just find out what's wrong with him. We just want to know what was wrong with him. And we found, and after all the tests happened, after, urine, stool, blood, x-rays, all the tests they did, we found out that he was a diabetic. We had no clue he was a diabetic. We had no clue. Our regular veterinary service never mentioned it at all. I guess he showed no signs, before his last appointment, like last year. And so we found out he was diabetic and that he had a blood sugar level of 600. Now, if you guys don't know much about diabetes, either, it doesn't matter, animals or humans, that is very, very high. That is the point, that is almost to the point of death if your blood sugar gets that high for humans. That's the point of death. That's when you're in the hospital for a week. And so that was his blood sugar level. He also had a high white blood cell count. My cat Whiskers, his red blood cell count was really low, and so he was almost anemic. What the vet says, and if you don't know what anemic is, I can't pronounce it right, anemic, if I'm pronouncing it right, it means you have a really low red blood cell count, which means that, for humans you can bruise easily, and so you just need to take iron medicines, but it's hard to fight in infections when you are anemic, when you have a low red blood cell count. And so, and my cat Whiskers, they also said he was extremely dehydrated, and if they hydrated him, it wouldn't be really good since he was so close to being anemic. They didn't want to put so much in his blood since his red blood cell count was so low. And so that was another thing wrong with him. And they also said, I can't remember all the technical words for it, but there was something in his urine they found, because his organs were kind of failing him because of the diabetes and how low his blood sugar level was, how low his red blood cell count was, and the high blood cell count sugar and the high white blood cell count, But everything was caused by his diabetes. Everything that was going wrong was his organs were going wrong. His organs were failing him. And what they said they found in his urine, I can't remember what it was called, but it was something where they said it was eating away at his fat cells and his muscle cells. So that's why he was extremely weak. And the vet also said him waiting till he's extremely dehydrated and drinking water a lot and peeing a lot is a sign of the diabetes. We did not know that. And so with everything that was going on, the vet said he would have to spend five or plus days to over a week in the hospital, and it was gonna cost several grand, not for the week, several grand a day. I guess I'll tell you guys, it was around $2.5 grand for him. But she said for us to continue on, for him to spend this day in the hospital, and then the next day it's going to be this, it was going to be $2.5 grand almost every single day. And then if we did forward with that, I'll get to that, I guess, since you guys know what we chose. The vet said that he would have to have weekly to bi-weekly visits with a regular veterinarian to make sure his diabetes is under control. Me and my teddy bear, me and him, we would have to give Whiskers 2 shots of insulin a day to control his diabetes. And so me and my fiance chose euthanization. We chose to put him to sleep because, since I mentioned earlier, I had him since 1988. I was 3 years old. I always thought I was 4, but when I really did the math, think about it, like in 1988, that's when I turned 4 years old, but my birthday's in December, so I was still 3. And so he was almost 20 years old. My cat was almost 20 years old, and so, you know, me and my fiance chose to euthanize him. We chose to put him down. We chose to put him to sleep. We chose that, okay, it's his time now. And the vet did never mention that. I'm the one that brought that up. She never mentioned it at all. I said, you know, I told her after hearing everything that I told her that me and him came in, me and my teddy bear came in here not expecting good things. We knew things weren't going to be good. We knew he was old. We knew he was weak. We knew that it was going to come at some point. He was going to get sick at some point, or he was going to die natural on his own at some point. We told her that. We knew it was coming, and we knew we might have to make that decision. And I told her we knew we might have to make a decision to euthanize. And she says, yes, that is an option. That is totally up to your choice. I'm just giving you what we do to keep him alive. And so, but she said something like that. You know, that's not exact words we said, but you know, just so you guys know, I brought it up. The vet never brought that up at all, you know. So the vet gave us the quota, you know, to get him home, you know, like I mentioned earlier, it was gonna be like $2,500 a day. And so me and my teddy bear chose, you know, like I mentioned, to euthanize him. So we spent some time with him. They brought him back to us in a room, private room. We spent some time with him. We spent a few minutes. I took a few pictures. I'm gonna keep those pictures private. And then we did not stay for when he got euthanized. We did not stay for it. I could not stay for it, and my fiance decided not to stay for it. And you know, I was really sad. I was really emotional inside, and so that's why. And so then on my 2 minutes at the beginning of this video was like happy, and the next 10 minutes are like really sad. But it's just an update of what's kind of going on in my life right now. I really wanted to film this earlier, but on Sunday, you know, I was very sad that I had to make the decision. That is my first time ever choosing to having to get a pet euthanized. We had a cat named Boots before. I think I mentioned him like in some videos before we got Whiskers, but he died naturally. And any other pet I had, I had gerbils, I had a fish. They've died naturally. We don't really put fish down, but you know, any other cat I've had has died naturally, or one did run away, and so I've never ever had to make the decision to euthanize, and it was very sad. And on a Friday, which was yesterday, was it Thursday? No, I think it was like. Yeah, it was Thursday. I did request the ashes, and so I did get the ashes back Thursday. The vet called me. I got his ashes, and they also did his paw print, which I did not expect. I didn't even ask for that. They just went and did it anyway. And so I was so happy that I got his paw print, his clay paw print. I still have to bake it, though. I haven't baked it yet. And so, yeah. And so that's why I you know, I don't know what else to say right now, you know. I don't know what to say. So it was very hard for me, you know. Like I was doing okay in the veterinary stuff. I was a little teary-eyed, you know, but I kind of lost it after we left. After we walked out, I just started bawling. It was very hard to make that first decision. I made a post about it on Facebook, my personal Facebook. And I've had a lot of good messages from very close friends and family about it. And so this video is almost 15 minutes long. So I'm going to let you guys go. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. Like just an update of the past week. And so that's probably what I'm going to call it. So I will talk to you guys in my next video, whenever that may be. Bye!